Hi there everybody, Tracy here with Tracy's Ink Spot. Thanks once again for tuning in to a 3D Thursday video. Tonight I'm going to show you a sour cream container, and in case you're wondering why it's called what it is, sometimes when you go out or get takeout or whatever and you order something that requires sour cream like a baked potato, this is the kind of packaging it comes in. So it's kind of triangular but yet prismy, that kind of thing. So we're going to make a similar shaped item out of paper. And you can use this as a little treat or a little favor for a party, or if you have a very tiny gift, maybe a little bit of jewelry or something like that. This is a very cute little packaging idea. You could use this for your kids' Valentine's, any kind of special little treat that you would like to have. So here's what you need to make your sour cream container. You need a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you need a strong adhesive like tear and tape or Seal Plus. I'm going to be using tear and tape today. And I'm going to walk you through what my sample is using, and then you'll see how to make the actual box itself. I'm not going to make the tag on camera today because you should be able to figure that out pretty easily. All right, so I have Hippo and Friends dies and the Hippo Happiness stamp set. So this has the bodies for several different animal shapes. There's this could be turned into a unicorn as well as a horse, and you've got a hippo and you've got a lamb and a butterfly. And then I love these dies that match. They do cut out some of the shapes of the critters, but I particularly love it for these layering shape sets. I use those shape sets almost like on almost everything I do. Absolutely love those. They're definitely worth picking up. Then I have the spiral die stamp set, which is actually one large stamp. And then spiral die, as in DYE, it's designed to look kind of like a tie-dye material. So I have this to cover my entire cardstock. The rest of it has a little bit of designer series paper from the in color pack of 20 to 22. That's going to be heading out this coming May. My cardstock is basic white, smoky slate, and magenta madness. So again, magenta madness is my base by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Slate and white were cut out with those hippo dies. So was the little lamb and her little bow. Then I used gray granite shimmer ribbon and a little bit of baker's twine. I used the white out of the Baker's Essential Pack to attach my tag to my sour cream container. So the only thing I used that isn't technically part of our catalog system was I used my old 1/8 inch handheld punch to get that little circle there for me to put that on there. But otherwise, everything else you see there can be found in the current Stampin' Up! Annual catalog that ends this April. All right. So let's get started. So what you're going to want to do is either stamp or texture or whatever you're going to do to your base cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So again, I stamped my spiral die stamp in Magenta Madness ink, so it's tone on tone. So go ahead and finish that, do that part first. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to put tape on one short end and both long edges. Okay, so I'm going to use my tear and tape because I love using this almost exclusively because it's so easy to work with. So you literally just run it down where you need it and rip it off. So literally tear and you have your tape. So again, one short side and then both long sides are going to need that. Then I'm going to use my bone folder a little bit, just lightly to kind of break up some of the fiber here. We're going to want this to end up curving into a shape that's a lot like a toilet paper tube. And to give that just a little bit of help, I'm just going to run my bone folder really lightly across this, kind of like you would do if you were curling ribbon on a package. So just run that along really gently. So it's got a little bit of a curve going to it already. Okay, then I'm going to take my piece off the short end. And this is where we're just going to make our toilet tube shape. So once you have that just beyond where that tape will line up to meet it, go ahead and give that a really firm burnish. You could also run your bone folder in there. You want to get some really good connection happening in that cardstock because you don't want that to open up for any reason. Okay, so then you're going to take one end, go ahead and remove the tear and tape that's inside, or if you've already used your Stampin' Seal Plus, that's already ready for you to go. Now I usually stick, the first side I usually end up using that part where it's sealed together as a guide to let me find out where about the half point is, and I can go ahead and seal that up. All right, I also take my bone folder to it again. You want to make sure those adhesives are sticking really nicely together. If for some reason you feel like this isn't holding very well, you could absolutely add a little staple. That's part of what the tag part is for at the top too. You can push that all the way through your packaging and make sure it's holding really well. Then you're going to go ahead and fill it with whatever you're going to fill it with. If you got little treats, it would probably fit some little Hershey Kisses, any individually wrapped tiny chocolates, etc. So fill it up before you seal the other end. That's going to be part of the tricky part. Don't seal it up until you've got everything in there that you want. Then go ahead and take that tape off of that side. Whoop, there we go. Okay, now this part you want to push the opposite direction of your first fold so that you get that funny prism-like triangular sour cream container shape. Again, I'm going to take my bone folder to it and make sure that's got a really nice seal going. Okay, and there you go. That is your basic shape for your sour cream container treat. Okay, so like I said, I like using cardstock for this. You could probably do this with some designer series paper, but you'd have to be pretty gentle as that's going to be a lot thinner. So I definitely do like doing these out of cardstock. And then, like I said, you're doing some extra parts to it here, either adding like a little staple or tying my ribbon through. You could almost do ribbons on both ends and make it kind of like one of those paper cracker looks. So it has something coming off of both ends. Then all I did for my finished piece, I wrapped a piece of that gray granite ribbon all the way around and tied it. Then I attached my tag through the knot with some twine and then tied another knot on top to hold it closed. So I'll give you guys a little bit of close up on that tag. So whoops, this direction, there we go. I stamped her on scrap paper and then sent her through the die machine and cut out her and her little bow. I used the same smoky slate color for both parts of her. I just stamped off the part that is her body and then full strength for the part that is like the fur here and on the top of her head. And then of course her bow is in Magenta Madness. All right, and I love the little extra stitched edges that those little hippo dies leave on there. And I wanted just a little another pop of color, so I used just a tiny bit of that Magenta Madness paper and I put it on there before I sent it through with the die so that it was all just cut together. All right, so everybody, again, that is a sour cream container. Hope you enjoyed that little presentation, and if you have any questions, you can reach me by email or drop a message on my Facebook page. This video will stay on YouTube, so there's always that option as well to leave a comment there. Again, thanks for joining me for 3D Thursday, and I hope you have fun making your sour cream treats. Have a great day. Bye now.